Hello and welcome back to World of Tanks with Sigma D. Now recently the 8.10 test server came out, and this is the one that introduces the new Japanese tech tree. Now I know you're all very busy people, probably, so I'm going to try and cover the entire tech tree in 5 minutes, give you a quick summary. Right, let's go. So at tier 1 we have the Renault Otsu. This is the Renault FT. You remember that from the French tier 1? Yeah, it's very similar. Then the tech tree branches. That you have this row of light tanks and this row of medium tanks. Now the light tanks look pretty fun. They seem to be fast and have like high rate of fire guns. I don't know if they're any good because I haven't played them because no one's playing low tiers on the test server. One thing to note is that the tier 3 medium is the Chiha, which is exactly the same as that. There we go, look, it's the same tank. It was a light on the Chinese tech tree, it's a medium on the Japanese tree, which gives you an idea of exactly how well armoured the Japanese tanks are. So then there's several more like boxy tanks. Then we reach the Chinu, which fully upgraded is exactly the same as the premium tank, the Chinukai. As a Chinukai driver, I can tell you that the Chinukai is only really successful in tier 5 games. In tier 6 and 7 it's a bit naff. Oh dear, I suspect the Chinu may not be that good. And then there's more box tanks with incredibly flat and presumably easy to penetrate armour. At tier 7 we reach the Chi-Ri, which has this weird auto-loader gun. It's auto-loading 3 shells in a magazine, 10 seconds to reload a magazine. On a tier 7 tank, that's absolutely huge. I originally compared it to a French heavy tank, but then I spoke to someone who actually drives French heavy tanks and he says it's nothing like that at all. So this tank could be unique. How you're going to play it I don't know, because it's a huge box, so it's going to have no camo rating at all, and it needs to kind of peekaboo for the auto-loader thing. I don't know. It's interesting, if nothing else. Tier 8 and above, we have the ST1, the Type 61, and the STB. Now, these are more leopardy tanks, I suppose. A criticism that's been levelled at the STB is that it's just the Leopard 1 with a Japanese flag on it, and it kinda is, but there are some major differences. The tanks before it, the STA1 and the Type 61, are kind of similar. They're kind of very quick, excellent flanking tanks. They've also got this amazing DPM. Type 61's gun there, 6 rounds per minute at that kind of damage and penetration. And then it gets even better on the STB. The average pen of regular shells is 258, average damage 390, 7.5 rate of fire. Let's have a look at the Leopard 1's gun. Oh look, it's the same. Same penetration, same damage, but the rate of fire is far higher on the Japanese tank. The accuracy is worse, the aiming time is longer, so that's your kind of balance there. The Leopard 1 is also a faster tank, although the STB is pretty nippy itself. We can see in this piece of footage that I'm hopefully showing you now that in a 1v1 race the Leopard 1 does get in front. Other things to note about the STB over the Leopard 1 are that it has this very well curved turret. So if you can get hull down, you can bounce shells that you couldn't in the Leopard 1. So all in all, it's a very mixed line. You start off with very poorly armoured, some scouts, and then you're playing poorly armoured tanks up until and including tier 7 with this Chi-Ri, but then you get on to very kind of Leopard prototype-esque, Leopard-esque, quick, medium flanking tanks. And I think this is a major thing, not because it introduces something new at tier 10, because the STB is just a Leopard 1, really. It's because it's a much nicer route to a Leopard 1 tank. If you look at the German tech tree for the Leopard 1, there's stuff like the Indian Panzer, the VKD, the VKDs there, this Leopard, this Scout route. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, the Japanese tech tree is really quite nice in comparison. Now, these aren't great medium tanks, don't get me wrong, they look like there'll be some really awful ones mixed in there, but they're nowhere near as hard as the German Scouts to play. I think I made it under 5 minutes there, if only just. I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at the new Japanese tanks in the game, and I wouldn't want to leave you without a bit more substantial gameplay footage. So this is one of the best, well, the best game I had in the hour and a half I got to play on the test server before the queues became thousands of people long, in the Type 91. Enjoy. This has been Sigma D. I'll see you next time.